Hey everybody, Ben with Classic Firearms here. We just received our second shipment of the M39 Mosin Nagant rifles that we had in our secondary warehouse and storage. Just brought them in. We're going to bring them into our primary warehouse and start sorting them and getting them ready to ship. Now we're shooting this a few days before we will actually have this ready, but we will post it to the site that you can see that it's our next batch. We're only about a third of the way through actually shipping our first batch, which sold out very, very quickly. We anticipate the quality on these to be the same. I have pre-inspected these rifles and they've been very, very nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop the locks on this trailer, set them out on the grounds here in the warehouse parking lot. Then we'll come back with some more video, let you look inside the Gaylords again, see exactly what we've got. Let me pop these locks, we'll take a look inside the trailer, and then we'll go from there. Because these shipping Gaylords, they have to stack low on the truck. Because we don't like to ship the Gaylords stacked on top of one another, we don't want to take any chances of crushing the rifles inside. The rifles are very nice, we want to maintain them that way. Jordan, if you'll come up and just kind of shoot down the side so people can see. Our last shipment had some crated rifles in the shipment. This shipment does not have any crates, they're all in Gaylords, but about the equal amount of rifles. Jordan, I don't think there's much else to see on this truck. Let me close out this segment. We're going to close out this segment, we're going to get them off the truck, stage them in the parking lot. We'll come back and take a look down inside some of the Gaylords. Be right back. All right folks, we're back. We've got our second shipment of M39 rifles unloaded now off of the trailer. Jordan, I'm going to ask you to scan so the folks can just see these Gaylords that we have here. As you'll see, they're not in numbered order as they came out of our secondary warehouse, but we did get our next shipment over. And we're going to start cutting some bands and letting you see what's in them. You've already gotten an idea from our first video, sort of what we got. So we're not going to do a long drawn out video this time. We're just going to cut a few bands at random and let you see that the quality is still here on these beautiful M39 rifles. If anything, this top row is looking better than top rows on the initial shipment. Gorgeous rifles. We'll take a look at this one just because that's a very pretty stock. We'll move on. I see some Seikos here in this batch. Seiko cartouche in the stock. And if you see the receiver, proves out there it's a Seiko also with a Finnish Army or Finnish Guard insignia there, also in the stampings. My guess would be that this Gaylord will be pretty much all Seiko rifles, whereas the previous one was VKTs. And Jordan, if you can kind of scan the stocks on this end, you can see the different cartouches on these Seikos. All right, move on to the next. The beauty of these rifles, folks, is that the top layer Not only has it not been a fair representation of what has been in the containers, but frankly, in a lot of cases, they've gotten better as they went. So anything you see on a top layer, know that you should expect that good, if not better. Now again, each rifle is individual. Some will have minor cracks in the stock. Read our Brutus description to know what you may expect. We cannot always show the worst rifle in the bunch. There will be some differences. That's true of all surplus, but you can see various differences between rifles, even from layer to layer on these top layers. Let's take a look here, Jordan. Point out a couple of things. This is a VKT. We have a cracked stock here. Someone will get this rifle. This is an M39. They have birchwood stocks on them. Birchwood is not the hardest of all the woods. They just don't have it in that climate over there. So some will have cracks in the stocks. Some may have stock repairs. They are what they are. We would still sell this rifle. We won't call it a hand select. That will be a standard grade, but know that you may have to expect that because some of them are in the batch. But as you can see, they're not prevalent. It's not a prominent characteristic among the rifles. Out of the 10 on this top layer, I only see one that has that type of a slight defect with the crack in the stock. Otherwise, you will see scratches, storage marks. I see some heavy storage marks on the bottom of this forearm. On this one, you will see the teardrop repair. That is common to all style of Mosin Nagant rifles. The M39 is no exception. You will see that teardrop repair. That's a factory repair, and it's very common to these rifles. We do not mark them down because of that. But again, this one would be classified due to overall condition as standard grade rather than hand select. We'll move on to another. That batch actually has a little condensation on it. We'll have to get out and clean that up. That's not uncommon when they come from different climates. The back of a sealed truck, then we open them up. Typically it just dries right off once they're open. But you see a good overall selection. This particular one has some stock repairs. The Finnish use dowels for stock repairs along with glue. That makes it very strong as far as the repair point is. But a good various selection of rifles. It's a beautiful stock there. And Jordan, get a shot of this receiver. That's a 1944 Seiko barrel with the Finnish issue stamp for the Finnish military. Another great example of a light stock Seiko. Really good looking rifle. And the one right behind it, that appears to be a restocked or a new stock rifle without any lacquer coating. As I've said before in these videos, very much like a box of chocolates. You never know exactly what you're going to get. That is the nature of surplus. We've had comments to our Facebook page and also online. Some people have read some of the writing on these individual Gaylords, some of the markings that you see in magic marker. I wouldn't put a lot of stock in that. These Gaylords have been used over and over or reboxed into during the grading process. So just because you see something written on the outside of the Gaylord doesn't mean that it's a reflection of what is actually in it. We even reuse them inside our warehouse when we grade out. So seldom does a rifle that started in that Gaylord end up in that Gaylord before it goes out. Jordan, take a look at these and then we're going to cut it short hereafter because it's really just more of the same. But this is an exceptional looking group of rifles here. And we're in a really good spot with the sunlight getting down inside. this particular Gaylord rifle. I think they're beautiful, folks. Beautiful M39s. We'll skip a couple and go down to one of the Gaylords on the end, but I think you've gotten a good idea. As surplus comes, there's always a variation from rifle to rifle. Some are really nice, some are not quite as nice. We do the best job we can selecting between hand select and standard grade, but you see overall, good group of rifles. If our first sales out of the first batch are any indication, these will also go very quickly. I know it looks like a lot of rifles, but believe me, there's a finite number of these, and then when they're gone forever. So we still encourage you, if you want a very nice historical piece of history that's going to continue to rise in value, be sure to get into one of these. Jordan, follow me down. We'll go to one more. This is number 7. 7's supposed to be a lucky number. Let's see what we got here. Take a look. Our lighting's real good here. This appears to be a group of the TG import rifles. They have the TG tags on them, just like they put on them close to 20 years ago when they were imported. We'll stand up a couple. I've shown you some examples of standard grade rifle with some crack stocks and repairs and things such as this. This here would be a good example of a hand select, probably a higher end hand select. Very nice grain on the stock. This is a VKT. Just a gorgeous rifle. All of them aren't, but they all are historical, and they all do have tremendous amount of collector's value as well as investment value. We'll do one more, we're going to call it a day. Number 10. And there you go. In the interest of full disclosure, let me show you this one. Jordan, can you get up on the receiver and up on the rear side on this one? This is a Seiko 1944. It's been exposed to moisture somewhere along the way. Some of these will have some surface rust. Any that have excessive rust, and we are calling this one excessive rust, we're instructing our guys that do the selection and the grading and the sorting, and they're very good. They've done it for a long time. They're very experienced. We're telling them to set anything of this level or even approaching this level that has excessive rust aside. We're holding all those till the end. We'll come back and market them as such as having some issues like this. You know, we're not talking about a little bit. If there's a little piece of rust or just a little surface rust somewhere on the rifle you received, don't call us and say, hey, we had, this thing had a little rust on it. Yes, some may go out of here, but if it is excessive, we are setting them aside, and you will not get that rifle. We'll hold it at the end and market it as such. But that is the exception, not the rule. You see the remainder of the top layer in this gondola. Beautiful, beautiful rifles. But it does expose the nature of surplus, that sometimes there will be a dog in the bunch. When it's there, we're trying to sort it out for you. I don't think there's any reason to continue that. You've seen a good assortment of these. It'll take us a while. By the time you see this video, we will have the majority of these sorted and boxed and marked. We don't want to get behind the 8 ball like we did with our first shipment. They sold much quicker than we thought that they would or prepared for. So we're going to hold off and not release these until they're ready to go. By the time you see this video, these will be largely sorted, boxed, and ready to be shipped. Nice rifles. We hope you take advantage of them. As always, you can find more details at our website, so come check us out anytime at www.classicfirearms.com. Hey everybody, hold the presses, postscript. Before we go, originally we were going to hold this video and not post it until we were ready to start releasing the firearms. On second thought, there's been a lot of speculation. Do they have more rifles coming? Are they stringing us along? Whatever. You know, that's never been the case. We always try to be honest with our customer base. This is our second wave of rifles that are coming in. They have just arrived. Today is, what is today, Jordan? The 16th, September 16th?
Yeah.
Today is September the 16th. We just received our second wave into the warehouse. As you see, they have not been graded. They have not been boxed. They are not ready to ship, okay? So please give us a little time. Don't be calling us and say, can I buy these rifles yet? When we are ready to sell them, when we have them prepared to ship, we will post them. Frankly, we're still shipping out of our first bunch of rifles. We need to get caught up, and then we need time to prepare this batch. But we did want you to see them. We want you to know that they are real. They're not some figment of our imagination. They are here. Nice group of rifles. We do have the second wave that we will be preparing to ship. They're in our warehouse. Just please be patient with us. We will send out emails and notifications for those of you that have signed up to want to know when they're back in stock. So they're here now, September 16th. If I had to guess, I would say 2.5, 3 weeks, certainly within the month. But we will have them back up on the site within the next 3 weeks to 30 days and ready to ship. Just follow our site and we will have the second wave of these rifles ready to go out to you guys. In the meantime, thank you for your patience. Continue to watch our site and we'll catch you down the road.